Lindsie Chrisley knows what she wants in her next marriage. After finalizing her divorce from Will Campbell after 9 years of marriage in October 2021, the Chrisley Knows best alum opened up about what she is looking for in a future husband. "I think that we have to dial it all the way back, that if you are putting yourself in a position to get married, then you should be putting yourself in a position to work through all of your problems, and divorce not be an option," the 33-year-old reality star said on the latest episode of her PodcastOne series, The Southern Tea. Lindsie, who confirmed she was in a new relationship in September, then reflected on her prior marriage to Campbell and that of her parents Todd Chrisley and his ex-wife Teresa Terry to elaborate on her views. "I came from divorced people, you know, and Will didn't," Lindsie continued. "And so any problems that his parents have ever had, evidently they've worked through them because they're still married today. Any problems that my parents had? First of all, I don't even remember my parents being together. That's a whole other story for another day." The podcast host stated that seeing her parents' relationship helped further her mindset on the normality of divorce even after her dad, 54, embarked on a successful marriage with his current wife, Julie Chrisley. "What I came from was two people who left a marriage, so I was like, well, you know, you just get divorced. Like, that was acceptable. And I think that once you allow it to be at an acceptable out, that to me is problematic," she explained. "I would not go into another marriage with the option of divorce. That might be an option for somebody else, but it will not be for me." Already a mom to 10-year-old son Jackson, who she shares with her ex-husband Lindsie, stated on a December episode of her podcast that she holds a desire to have another child but doesn't feel she has to be married to give birth again. "I do think that, at this point, it's a deal breaker if I was with someone and they didn't want another, if they had kids and didn't want any more, or they didn't have kids and didn't want any," she said. "I think that would be a deal breaker to me. I think one more child is good cause I already have an almost 10-year-old, so that gap is going to be a lot," Lindsie added. "Essentially, it would be like starting over." In addition to her perspective on divorce, Lindsie also gave an update on Julie amid the Chrisley family matriarch's 7-year prison stint during Wednesday's episode. "As far as I know, she's doing well," she told her listeners. Savannah Chrisley said that she's doing very well. "My nanny Faye said that she's doing very well. I had not been to Lexington to visit her yet." Lindsie also explained that there was a different process she had to go through for visitation at Julie's prison compared to Dad Todd's facility in Florida. "The difficulties with the Kentucky facility have ultimately made attempting to visit more challenging. I sent in all of my paperwork and have yet to hear back regarding the visiting. So it's been a little bit frustrating," she said. "The attempts to try to communicate have been a lot different than communicating with my dad." Julie, 50, and Todd, 54, were sentenced in November 2022 to a combined 19 years for fraud. Though they reported to their respective prisons on January 17, the couple continues to vehemently deny all wrongdoing and are currently in the process of appealing their case. Chrisley Knows Best airs Mondays at 11 p.m. ET on USA Network.